Okay, welcome back to Bryan Wood's stable with his bikes, and we have Stewart Bland, who's the guy who built these bikes. And welcome, Stewart.
Thanks.
What we're looking for out of this, Stewart, is to tell us a little bit about the bikes. We've got two bikes in particular which are made into twin shocks. We've got one here which is the full 500, and we've got another one which is a 480. So the 480, I believe, was built 3 years ago.
Yeah, I just started building probably about 7 or 8 years ago. I just fancied building a twin shock bike for myself, and the first one I did was obviously a Mako, and I've never really been a Mako fan, although they do work very well as twin shock bikes. The Mako was great, and as usual somebody made me an offer for it I couldn't refuse, so it went, and then I thought I'd have a go at building a Honda. I built 3 480s, I think, again, that people kept buying off me. And so the last one I built worked really, really well, and then I thought I'll move on to a 500.
And obviously you talked about the Mikos there originally. You were a rider of motocross yourself, so you knew a bit about the game, and you were a Miko rider as well in the early days.
For a very, very short period of time. Yeah. But I mean, I've never really been a Mako fan. I mean, they obviously work very well as a twin shock bike, and it was just by chance really that I stumbled across the bike and decided to build it and have a go, and I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed building it and riding it, and then I think Mark had a go on it as well, and Gordon Crockard rode it at Farley, and you know, I thought I took that as far as I could take it really. Then I fancied building a Honda, and you know, it was quite a hard challenge to make it better than a Mako really, because they are a really good package.
Because of the Mako is renowned for its handling.
Handled well, and the power delivery was great. The only thing you can really knock them on, really, the gearbox and the clutch isn't fantastic. It's not like a Japanese bike, but you know, with a little bit of careful building and some modern parts, it was very reliable and very good.
I do remember at Farley Castle a few years ago there, probably at the same time, Josh Coppins was riding a Miko 81 there, and Josh had just come off the Pirellis that he'd been racing in the Grand Prix, the motocross bike, and he said for a 1981 bike, he couldn't believe how good the bike that was. And throughout the world, the 81 Miko is renowned for this.
Well, you can still get around the track faster than them. I think the only thing you've got to allow for really is you ain't got the brakes aren't anywhere near as good as a modern bike. I mean, the actual peak horsepower, you've probably got nearly as much as a modern 450. So you know, if you know how to ride them, you can get them around fairly sharp.
Yeah. So you built these bikes from scratch in B, and the 480 came up to a level where you went to the 500. So can you tell us the difference?
Yeah, I mean the 480 I just built out of various parts that I had over the years, and you know, myself and a friend of mine made the frame, and we did it. I wanted to make the engineering properly really. A lot of people just weld twin shocks onto a normal bike, but I didn't want to do it like that. I wanted to make it properly engineered. So we started out by measuring a Mako properly with a Faro arm. Getting a computer image of the Honda and the Mako side by side, and then we had some jigs laser cut so that we could transfer those dimensions into metal. So basically the back end is the same dimensions as an 81 Mako, which is the obvious way to go because that was the best twin shock bike. And then I just made them as nice as I could really, and modernised everything, but still kept the spirit of the bikes within the rules really. You know, we put modern ignition systems on, improved the cylinder porting and the carburetors and various other bits and pieces, and made them as good as I could really. And you know, we got the 480 working really well, and then I decided to do a 500 because just by chance really I came across an 84 air-cooled cylinder and realised it bolted straight on the modern bottom end. So I thought, right, we'll do something with that.
The light bulbs came up there. Yeah, but the bikes are very, very impressive. I mean, we can see that they've got billet clamp yokes and they've got alloy tanks made, and they're very, very impressive. And I know for a fact that I've seen both bikes running, you know, and I would say they're the best bikes out there, to be truthful with you.
I tried to make obviously my day job is in bike racing, and I've tried to take that experience into building a bike properly by not just guessing everything by measuring and experimenting and using an engine dyno and doing everything properly as you would really. Whereas, you know, a lot of bikes you see built are literally just guesswork and thrown together, and just try to do it within the spirit. Try to make the bikes look period, especially with the 500. I'm concentrated more to make that look period, but under the skin be as modern as possible, and get the thing as easy as I can to ride.
Yeah.
And you know, I think if people have watched Marc on it, said, you know, the bike works really well. The power delivery is really smooth, but it's really quick and handles well. So you know, I think there's a few little improvements we want to make, but I think we've pretty much got it as far as we can now. Really.
Is this? I know you do this in your spare time, Stuart. Is this something that you want to potentially in the future break into, building bikes for people? Or?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I'm always, as I say, that various people ask me to do things, and my answer is, well, yeah, I'll do it, no problem, as long as you're not in a rush. And obviously, lots of people just want a cheap job, but I don't do cheap jobs.
No.
You know, they either do it properly or not at all. But yeah, I'm always interested in speaking to people about doing things, because only if I enjoy doing it. If I enjoy doing it, I'll have a go at it.
Yeah. Oh, well done. And the other thing which we wanted to speak to you about was we have been testing various shock absorbers on these bikes, and the obvious choice was we had Öhlins on them because the frame has been took dimensionally off an 81 Michael, which ran best with Öhlins. But we have your experience with the road racing side at a company called Maxon, like I know very well from my days with road racing type making frames and suspension, and they're trying to break into the vintage style shock absorber and stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I was a bit frustrated with the Öhlins non-adjustable shocks because, you know, every time you want to make a change you've got to revalve them, which we did several times. There's nothing wrong with the product, but I just wanted to take it a little bit further on really, and I know Richard from Maxton, and I spoke to him and he offered to build us some shocks, and the biggest thing for me was obviously the quality. We wanted a proper quality product, not a cheap product, and also we wanted them adjustable compression and rebound. But most of the shocks with adjusters on, you lose a lot of stroke. I wanted to keep the same stroke as the Öhlins. Where the way the rebound adjuster is designed on these, you don't lose any stroke. You still retain the stroke, which obviously keeps the whole thing correct. We did a lot of dynoing as well, and realised that the damping on the Öhlins needed to be quite substantially stiffer after a bit of experimenting, and obviously we've done some development now, and we've found an instant improvement. I say I'm sure you probably could have got the Öhlins to the same place, but you would have done 4 or 5 revalves. And obviously you just want the adjustability really. I mean,
I suppose for the guys at trackside, then it is easier for them because they can have a click here, a click there, and I believe that the adjustment you have, the way Richard's made these shocks, the adjustment is quite severe.
Not so, but what I asked him not to do was make it so that, you know, you did 4 clicks and you could hardly feel it. I said, you know, you want to have the range wants to be sort of 10. So that you can feel 1 or 2 clicks. A lot of these Japanese shocks, you have 50 clicks on, and you can put 4 or 5 clicks in, and you can't tell the difference. Just wanted to it, you know, we're not going Grand Prix racing or anything. It's just local twin shock racing, and you know, you don't have loads of time to set things up. So we just wanted a reasonable range of adjustment so that you could make a difference. And and they seem to work really, really well. And obviously, it's a quality product made in England. And as I say, the main thing for me was keeping the stroke of the shock correct, because people put shocks onto bikes that should have 130 mil of stroke, and then they put a shock on that's the same length that's got 20 mil less stroke, and don't realise they're losing 2 inches of suspension travel. So
it's very, very important. But we're hoping probably in January time that we'll, through yourselves, we'll be able to take the lads down to Maxton, and we're going to have a wee tour around the factory, and let the guys feel a bit what it's all about.
I think you'd be interested there. It's got a nice setup there, and I think they're well set up to make one-offs as well. You know, they're not just you know, they'll go and personalise a shock to you, and if you want something a different length or a slightly different, they'll make anything. They'll tailor make them for you.
It's quite rare that now to get somebody to do that.
Most things now, you're just buying boxes and you've got one spec, and then you have to take it further from there. You know? So you know, it's a good. Obviously, you know, you do pay a little bit more for the quality and the uniqueness, but it's definitely worth it.
I think the emphasis of this then, Stuart, is what we're saying is we don't do cheap.
No.
We do proper.
Yeah.
So anybody that's serious about racing and having a nice bike and making it work right, do it proper.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And I think that's the right way as far as I'm concerned. And we've got another bike which is the Evo. Can you tell us a bit about that bike?
I had that for about 6 or 7 years now, and I just initially bought it. It came from America, so it was a very, very low hour bike, and I just I built it up, and I think Gordon Crockard rode it once, and a couple of my mates rode it, and I had a ride on it, and then Bryan decided to buy it off me. So I think he's going to have that out next year at some meetings with Gavin. So that should be good to see it ridden. But it's to say it's hard to find a really low hour one now. And basically like a brand new bike.
Yeah, and Bryan is a real enthusiast.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I've known him for a long time, and Marc and them have known him. He's a real top bloker. And of course, normal in this game is a spade with people, so that's good enough for us.
Oh yeah, no, it's good that people like Bryan. You need people like Bryan in the sport, and the Evo and the Twinshock job is booming. It's good to see. It's a bit of an enjoyment for people like myself who've been involved for 30 odd years in motocross, and it's a bit of a new lease of interest, really.
So, okay, thanks for all that, Stuart, and we hope to see you, if your time permitting, at some of the rounds to see how the bikes are going round.
I'd love to come up and probably have a ride, but I keep saying I'll ride every year and never get time, but I probably will have a ride at some stage.
Good, it's a pleasure to meet.
Cheers.